Hello guys, this is Joseph from Jouleconcepts. How are you doing today? Welcome to day 29 of the AutoCAD 3D 30 days challenge. Today we're going to look at how to model this MacBook, and that's basically what today's tutorial is going to be about. We are going to use the same approach we started with yesterday, and the reason being that we are only given dimension, the overall length and width of the model. That's the only thing we're given, nothing more about all these guys. So that means for us to do this, we're basically going to be doing tracing over, but since we have the main dimension, so we'll just use that to do this. So I'm going to right click this image, copy, and go to paint and just paste this here, Ctrl Shift X to cut out this so that we can have the overall shape. And then I'm just going to save this out, and I'll just call this laptop. And then we are going to look at this. So right now this is what we currently have. So I'm not going to make my laptop closed. It's going to be something like this. It's going to be opened laptop. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So I will still make use of this guy, but I will put this reference image in the front view, sorry, in the top view, and probably in the front view as well. All right, so but this is what we're going to do. So let's go to the top view. So just go to top and switch this to 2D wireframe, and then I'm going to get that image and bring it over here. So it's in my pictures, and this is, yeah, this is it. I'll just drag this here, place it somewhere here, press enter, enter, and then we have this. So again, I'm going to fade this, and what next am I going to do? If you watched yesterday's tutorial, you should know what we're going to do next. Just to get this length and scale it up by that length. Oh, and again, mind you, we are working in centimeters, so I'm going to UN and press enter, and I'm going to change from millimeters to centimeters. Okay, so now that we've changed this to centimeters, let's draw our line and scale. Okay, UN again. I'm also saying that we're having two decimal places, so just go to my precision, 2 decimal places. I can actually go to 3 in case we are dividing anything or whatnot. So I have that, and I will draw a line. Make sure my auto is on. Draw a line, L for line, and then I'm going to click from here all the way to that place, and I want to draw, that is the length we are seeing here. So I want to draw the actual length, 34.93. so go back to the line again, press escape, also put on my auto object snap so that I'll be able to snap to various points on the object. I turned everything off in yesterday's class, so I have that. L for line, snap to this, go all the way. Remember the dimension is 34.93. Press enter. So this is the dimension. So that means I need to scale this down, actually not up like yesterday. So I'll select the image, reference image, and then SC for scale, pick here, and it will ask for reference points. I'll pick here again as, so before I pick, I'll just press S for, let me just show you the prompt. So as I'm pressing this, you'll be seeing the prompt right here. So let me move this to this side so you can see all of the prompt as we're working. Alright, so I'll select this image, SC for scale, press enter, asks you for base points. I'll pick it as my base point. So I don't want to just scale, I want to use reference. That's why I'm pressing R, because you can see R is colored blue. So if I choose R, then it's asking me to specify the reference length. So the reference length is the image length. So from here to here. And now the new length is the actual length. So I'll just move here. And this will give us the actual length for this. So I can delete this. I'll also delete these guys. So now that I have this done, basically the only thing left is for us to now continue working from here. So I will just do the top. So let's move this to the origin. So select this, M to move, pick the midpoint here, then where is the next position? 0, 0, which is the origin, press enter. It will jump to this origin. But other thing I also notice is I also want to do is I want to bring this guy from here to this place so that we can work with it. We can actually move it anyway. So let's I think we should just work here. We can move it to the origin. So we're going to use this to do the keypad, and then we'll copy this to another view to do the side. All right. So I think I want to move this again to the origin. So M for move, pick somewhere here, and 0, 0. All right, so that I can move this to this origin. And so let's start. We'll just create a rectangle object. So we don't need any dimension anymore because we've scaled. So I will just pick from here. Well, I could use this since we can see. So what I'm basically doing is I'm putting my cursor to align to the vertical and the horizontal line. Click, and then I'll do similar thing here so that I can align, and then click, and that will give us this. But we need to curve the edge, so I will use fillet for that. We are not given the radius value, so we'll just keep trying a particular value. So let's try 5 first. Oh, that's too much. Let's try 2. Still too much. 1. I guess 1 is perfect, so I'll just click here and here. Yeah, it's perfect. Fillet, let's choose multiple so that we don't have to be hitting spacebar all the time. So come here, click, click, and then we're done with this. So the next thing we are going to do is to extrude it downwards or extrude it up for us to get the high depth, so to say. So what I will do is I will select this image and I will go to where's this okay, so let me bring that image up here because I will be needing it to copy, and also I don't need this layer, so I'll just right click, remove the layer from here, and I'll quickly switch this to draft annotation. And this is what I need. I need this copy, so I'll right click, add here, and also paste, right click, add. So once I have that added into this spot, and then I can go back to my modeling. So if I select this image, I can copy to my clipboard. So once I have it copied to clipboard, I will move to the front view, maybe. And then I want to paste that image. I'll just come here, paste. So why this is important and good is that I don't need to scale anymore. That's what I didn't do yesterday, so I should have done that. So but here you're doing it now. So you've learned something new. So it will paste this with the actual scale of the image you had before, so you don't need to scale this up. So I'm going to move this. This is my front view, right? So I'm going to move this one such that this place is in the origin, and then so that we can use that to scale up or down. Okay, so also have selected M for move. I'm going to pick somewhere here and then 0, 0, and then we'll shift it to the origin. So this is what we have, and then we can just extrude it downwards. So before we do that, I'm going to draw a line. And you will see why we are going to do that in a bit. Line. Don't forget these are origins, so I'm going to draw one more line here. Just let the line go very long, and then I'll draw another line downwards. So I can just copy this down. I'll just copy from here down here, and possibly maybe copy this as well. CO, pick here as my base point, the new origin 0, 0, and I'll press escape. So we have these markings at different positions, which will help us do our extrusion if we need to do, or even move that object. So if I do this, this is what we currently have. You can see that right there. So we could just use this to do that. So let me just move this right here. All right. So you will see what we're going to do now. So this, I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to copy it down at exactly that distance. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So let's copy. We'll do CO, and so I'll pick it as my base point. Click here, and that's that. So for the next one, this next one actually not supposed to be the same length. Okay, it's not supposed to be the same size, but we're going to look at how we are going to run that anyway. So let's switch this to, okay, we're already onto the wireframe. So now that we have this, let's turn this into 3D geometry. So I'm going to use my loft. If I do an extrusion, I can just do, so there I can choose to do an extrusion by selecting this top one, which is this one. If I press enter, it wants me to bring the extrusion down, so I can bring it to either to this place. So we're starting from here, so we can bring it here or here. So it doesn't really matter any one I want. But then if I now do the extrusion like so, I'll now start filleting this edge. So that is one way I can approach that. The second way can be to do a loft, or just lofts and lofts. So why I want to do lofts is okay, I think we can actually do extrusion. So let's go this way. So this is what we have, and you can tell that this is not flat, it's not like straight on. There's a little bit of a fillet around the edge, so we're going to do that. I think I want to do loft so that by the time I'm doing my fillets, I will not go past this length. So I'm just going to undo this, Ctrl Z, to the point where I've not. All right. So I will use my loft and it's asking me to pick this object in lofty order. So it's just to get that. This is the first one, this is the second one, and then this is the third one. Press enter, enter, and it gives me the same thing. It will give us the same results, but now the difference is that for this one, I can, by the time I'm selecting this edge using my solid, I shouldn't have, so the fillet will only, it's just, I want it to have that effect only on this segment, and so that it doesn't affect this place. So let's quickly see this. If you do a fillet radius of I don't know, 1 might be too, let's try 2. If I click here, so remember again, while this will not work yesterday, there is a 2D shape here. So I'm going to escape, select that polyline and delete, so that we don't have any polyline to play with. So just click here, 2, select this. Alright, 2 is too much, you can tell. So press escape, and let's run this again. So this is the pain of not having a value. So let's try 0.5. Okay, what's that? Escape. Let's run this again. Let's try 0.3 and do this. Wow, what's this? Okay, so I'm going to cancel out, and we're going to look at another approach to doing this. So let's not stress ourselves with that. Let's just go to the next phase. So now the next phase we have here is, if you look at we have this in the front view, right? So we are going to also, we've created this in the top view, to place one in the front view. We want to get this right view so that we could do this side. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, copy to clipboard, go to this right, so just click on right, and then I can paste and position this somewhere here first, and we want to move this. Don't forget, this is the solid, so we want to move this guy there. It's at the back, so I'll select this, say move. I'll pick here the base right here, and then I'm going to pick here. Yeah, that's what we have. So we see this is what we have, and we'll move that into position very soon. So just for us to have that object. So what I think we can do is we can come here, draw a line that goes from here there, and this is just to aid us to move the object. So I have that line drawn, so I'll just copy that same line from there to there, so that by the time we're putting this object, we'll have somewhere to move to, and then we can also have somewhere to. So let's just select this. This is the object right there, so I'll just M for move, pick anywhere here, and just go straight and pick here, and then we'll move that reference image there. Yeah. So by the time we're extruding this, it will be easy for us to extrude. Oh, sorry. I think this is this is the front. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're still on track. We just need to move this down. So select this, move, and we will come here, pick here, and come down. So we'll move here. Hopefully is on there, but if it's not there, no issues. We can still move that all the way there, so that's not a problem. So let's just get this shape out of the way. So we're going back to the right, and then we just need to draw this. So this is the only point where I'm going to turn off my auto, and then I'll use my polyline PL. I'll click from here, go all the way to this point, click here, we have to turn this to arc, and the arc will be direction from here to here. Just do that small. Let's turn this to hold down Control to switch this. And then switch back to line. From here, change this to arc. Something like this. Switch back to line. And then end that. So we have something like that, and here as well. So here I can move this to decide how curved we want this to be. So we have this done. So we need to extrude this out. So this is the shape we've created. Alright, so just select this, and because we use polyline, it is automatically joined. Alright, yeah, it's automatically joined. So I think for now I'm quickly going to select all these guys, solid, and this. And then I'll isolate them so that they will allow me move my guy in piece. So I'll just select that. MV for move. Switch this to world first, so very important, please. So select this, MV for move. Sorry, or M for move rather, sorry. So I'll just pick from here, go all the way to that point. Yeah. So now that we have that done, we'll just extrude this guy, press enter, go all the way. I just want to snap to this guy, and then it will extrude that face. So if I switch this to conceptual, you see we have that. All right. We're making headroom, so this is fine. I'm making headway. There is this guy right here. If you look at this, there is this cylindrical shape stuff and a hinge that we can also create. And then this top, there should be a cutout for this to hold in place. All right, so we're going to quickly do that now before I think we should just do all this side first before we come to all those little detailed stuff. So I will come back to so if you look at this laptop, you see that there is a groove that goes in. All right, very important. You can, that's the reason why I brought this. You see this groove? It cuts in, and we're going to do that. So let's go to the top, and on isolate. So because we are on the top view, we have this, so it's easy for us. We are building, we already put the reference and we're building on the reference. So I will do rectangle as well, the same thing we did earlier. So click from here, go all the way here, and that's what we have. And then we're just going to fillet that, F for fillet, set our radius. Let's see one. I doubt if that will be, yeah, I know that's too much. So let's try 0.2. Okay, let's try 0.3. Yeah, 0.3 is fine. Fillet, multiple, so that we'll just keep filleting all these guys. We don't have to run the command every time we want to fillet. So I'll click here and here as well. We're done with that. So from here we can now quickly do extrusion. But before we do this, we also notice that this also has this. So let's just quickly do them in one go. So rectangle again. We'll come to this place and bring this all the way here. And fillets, let's see, 0.3. I think we'll do 0.2. Yeah. So because multiple is on, we can just continue filleting this. We have this and this. And this one, we will do this later. So now we have this done. So for orbits, you can see that they are on the surface, right? So we are also not given the depth. Okay, so we are only going to work with whatever it is we have. Okay, so I'll select this shape and I will go in, and let me turn off my object snap so that I can have my depth. So let's say this is what I want to go. Yeah, something like that. I'm going to fillet the edge. And I'm also going to do for this one as well. I don't think I need this left view stuff anymore, so I'll just delete this. Or okay, so I'll just delete it. I thought I wanted to just hide that. Or if I fade it all through, I want to delete. Sorry. So I will delete that. Okay. So we have this. So let's run this one again as well. So we'll run our press pull, select that, go in, but this doesn't go as much as the other one goes. So just click somewhere here. And that's what we have. Press escape. If we change this to conceptual, and this is what we have. All right. So for this, we'll have to now start adding a bit fillets around the edge. So let's select this and isolate it. Okay, so I see. I only filleted on something else. So this shape that we have here, this polyline and this, as I select them, I want to check if it's on that shape. Yeah, it is. So let's run our fillet. What's it called? Let's run our polyline. So I'll switch this again to the wireframe and press pull. Select this. Go in on the geometry like so. And press escape. Let's check this. Yeah. Now this is now working as much as we want. No, it's not. Ctrl Z. Let me be sure we are on that surface. Let's go to the left view. And so I'm going to minimize this and put this one to my isometric. And so that by the time I select, I want to see how it is. So if I select this guy, okay, so that's on the surface. So let's fillet it down. So for some reason it does not want to fillet, but no issue. So what I can do is I'll undo the fillet. I'll select this. I'll select that, and then I'm going to extrude it. I'll extrude it inside like so. That's how much I want to extrude, and then I'm going to subtract. I'll go to subtract, select this big one, press enter, select the small one, press enter, and that should give us what we are looking for. Yeah. So sometimes you try to press pull, it's not working. You might need to just do subtraction. So which is what I've done. So here, while we're here, we can now quickly fillet this just to make it smooth. So we'll go to solid, fillet edge, set our radius to maybe 0.2. Come to the edge. Yeah, that's exact. Actually, I love that. So I'll click here, here, and I'm also going to come here. Here, you have to do it all around. So we have that exact fillet on all the edges. So just click here as well. Just press enter again, and then you see you have that surface. Okay, so that's good. So what's next? We'll come here, we'll on isolate, and we'll be picking this one by one. So select this 3D solid, and also select this reference image, and then I will isolate both. And why I'm isolating both is because I want to create all of these shapes, and then we can start working from there. So I'll create everything in one go, join them so that we can just extrude everything together. So I will do rectangle and click from here, go all the way here, run the rectangle again, put on my object snap so that I can trace this right here. I can also trace this right there. So we have that, and rectangle, and I can trace this a little bit here, and then I'll just copy this guy. So select it. So before I do the copying, let me just quickly do a bit of filleting, so I don't have to do filleting on too many things. So F for fillet, run your radius. Let's try 0.1. Let's do multiple. Let's try this first. Click here to here. Okay, I'll do 0.2. Yeah, that's perfect. Do this to this, and then this to that. And because we are still running it, we'll just run it for this as well. Ctrl Z. Fillet. Multiple. So this and this together. Why am I losing the shapes? Let's try here. I think it's because we're on top view, so click here. Polyline. Okay, so I'll just have to go through the process. Click polyline, this polyline, and then click here, and we'll run this as well. This, choose this polyline, choose the polyline again, the polyline. I guess because the top view there's a little bit of a glitch, so I have to do it here. Polyline, and that's done. So we can press escape now, come here, and then we can now start copying. So just select this, CO for copy, and I can just pick the edge like so, and we'll be putting them along those edges. So put one here. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be that perfect. Just keep placing them roughly where they are. Click, that. So this point, I think I will have to fast forward in order for, because you don't have to be seeing me doing all of this. I mean, you don't need to see me doing all of this. So I'll just pause this and then fast forward as I work. Okay. So later. Alright, so I'm back. So I have done everything, but there is something I kept which I wanted to show you guys. You can notice all these buttons. You can see the way how big they were. You know, we started with this and I have big ones. So how did I come about this? Did I have to create a new one? No, actually make do with what I have this. So this is actually what I did. I copied here and then I elongated it. So it's actually, so I'm going to show you the command that I use. It's called stretch. So I'll just type str. You will see the full stretch. So once you do stretch, you just do a crossing selection. Click anywhere outside there on the top right corner. Click and move down. Make sure it doesn't select other objects. let it just go across the object, but not fully, just the part that you want to stretch. Click and then press enter, then pick here and then move your mouse. Make sure that your auto mode is on, or else you'll be stretching up. So put on your auto mode and just go to where you want it to be, and then that's how you stretch. All right, so we've done all these things now. So what is left is for us to quickly turn them into one object and just quickly do a bit more extrusion up. All right, so let's see how we'll do that. So while we're here, I can minimize this now. I could select all of them from here. Just select these guys and let's switch this to the wireframe so that we're able to select all these guys without selecting the mesh. All right, I just want to select all of these shapes. Yeah. All right, and I think this is all we have to select. And then let's see, join will not work. Okay, just know that. So what we can do is we can run our extrusion and that will extrude them downward. So let's just come here and go to maybe front view here. Just go to front view. We have all of the buttons that we can do. So let's just now select them once more so that they are all selected, and then we can extrude them downwards from our side view or our front view. So we'll select all these guys, this, that, and this. And let's be sure everything is selected. I think everything is selected. Just come here and run your extrude. So again, I'm going to turn off my object snap and I will come down. Okay, I don't need to come down. Just extrude this to the point where it comes to this base. This is where the buttons are, so I'll just move all the way. Let it go inside a little bit. And now we've done the extrusion. If you come here, this is basically what we have. And look at this. I mean, you've created all of your buttons and all is just smooth. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do is, while I'm here, I'm going to go to my top view. I want to create this cutout for my laptop hinge to go into it. So again, let's switch this to here and let's quickly do that right here. So I'm going to create a rectangle that goes from here all the way here, and that rectangle. Okay, so you see, again, you don't want that, so you just want to be in the top view like so, and REC for rectangle, and let's do that again. Okay, so I think we'll switch this back to world. So in our world view, let's try to run the rectangle again. I'm saying that this is okay, so we're here. All right, so if that is the case, what I think I can do is here I can set my work plane to be on this surface. So I'll just pick my work plane to being on this surface like so, press enter, and let's create a rectangle. So I'll start from here. Yeah, this should, yeah, see now this works now. So let's go all the way here, and now that we have that done, we just need to press pull that down to use it to cut down. So let's press pull, okay. So we'll press pull this, click, and go down to cut. So we have that opening. Yeah, that opening is there. So this is, we can delete this, we don't need this anymore. So you see, and even though I cut this open, we might not actually need to go that way down. So let's undo the press pull. So let's press pull a little bit down. Let's press pull responsibly. So just click here, click. We don't have to go all the way down, so maybe somewhere here. Still goes all the way down, so undo. I think while I'm press pulling, I will just orbit a bit. So let's put on our click here. We want to press pull just this segment, not the fold. So you will have to, you need to get the right shape. Here. Okay, so I will just extrude this down. So select, extrude, so orbit a little bit. Let the extrusion not go too much, so let's just say something like that. Yeah, so once we have that extrusion, we will subtract. Select the big one, select the big boy, this, press enter, and then select the shape, press enter. It's going to cut that out. So that's that. So if one way is not working, you have to look for another way. So while we have that done, the next thing will be for us to do the surface. And first off, again, you need to also note this surface, there is also a lid, an opening. So we don't have that shown here. So what we can do is we can just improvise and just get something to do here. So what I'll do is I'm going to unisolate so that I can select this guy. Once I have this selected, I will isolate it, and we can switch this to conceptual and then pick that face. Okay, so I'll come here, pick this face to be my working plane, press enter, so that by the time I'm creating this rectangle now, that will be, I'll create that rectangle on that surface. So now this is what we want. See that this surface, we have this, and then we have this side. So we want to do that so that we can just do a little bit of a press pull. All right, so you can see that the edge is very close. Okay, so we'll do that. So now we're here, let's create our rectangle. So the rectangle will get very close, just somewhere here, and go all the way down here and leave the base. We don't want to get too down to the base, just say something here. All right, so we have this, and let's switch this to, and we can press pull I think this is the rectangle we just created. Yeah. I'm thinking this is too low. We can move this up a little bit. We can still move this up. Yeah, maybe that's fine. So we will just do a very small press pull. Just very small. Doesn't have to go too deep. Just very, very tiny press pull. I feel this is even deep, so bring this back out like so. Yeah, so let's press escape and let's see how it looks. Yeah, that's fine. On isolate, and then we have this guy. So right now I don't think I need this reference image anymore. So let's look at that reference image, which is this. I'm going to delete it. So we only have that. So what we have to do next is to put the hinge, and we'll just select this edge and work on that edge. So this as well, I think we should just do everything before we delete this image, and then we'll know that we don't need that image. So what I want to do next is here, this cutout, and we are going to do a bit very small shaped stuff. So let's see if I can use a cylinder. I'm not really sure, but let's just see. And we have this. And let's see the cylinder that we have. So this is the cylinder. And I can rotate this cylinder. Just choose the rotate command, select this guy and choose rotate. I want this cylinder to rotate that way. Yep. And from here we can move it into position. And turn off my auto so that we can move right here. Okay, so I'm going to undo as well. I'm going to undo it till I have that cylinder here. So let's select. Let's rotate. I'm going to turn off auto, and okay, so we don't have object snap, so we can just move this right here. It actually moved. It moved. You remember what happened with the buttons? That's actually what happened. So we'll come here, switch this to front, and this is it. You can see I'll select this and I'll move this down, put on my auto so that we can be, so I just want it to intersect like that, something like that. Yeah, so once we have that intersected, let's switch back to top, and the only thing we can now do is to come here and start press pulling again. So okay, so let's not press pull. Let's just subtract and be over with this. So I will go to subtract, select this geometry, press enter, and then select this, press enter, and that will give us that cutout. And I will just leave it like that. Oh, we don't need. So now at this point I really do not need this shape anymore, so I can delete this so that we have our object to work with. Okay, so if I feel I want to push this back in, I can, at this point I think I can press pull, and that will go in more. I can also press pull, pull in more. And we're done with that. The only thing we're left with is the hinge and then the logo at the back, the Apple logo at the back. That's just the only thing we're left with. So let's quickly do the hinge. So we'll come here to the top view and let's create, actually we'll go to the front view. So we will create another cylinder. Front view, okay. I think we'll go to the right. Yeah. So we'll create a cylinder somewhat like this and move it really up. You can see from this view, please. So you can see how it's going. So this is fine. You can select this, move this, put off my auto mode and move this here, somewhere here, so that I can come here into this shape, go to move, and then I can move this to that side. And I'll also copy that as well. So let's do that in the top view. So while this is selected, I can copy it. CO for copy. I'll just move this to the side, make sure my auto mode is on, move it to the side. It gives us that second inch. So this, we can push this here as well. So this will be wider, okay? So, sorry, this should be in orthographic view. So let's come here. And let's isolate this. Let's select all these guys and then isolate them. So why I want to isolate it, so that by the time I'm press pulling, I see where I'm press pulling to. Not all the way, somewhere here. I'll do the same thing here. Yeah. Maybe I can move this still in a little bit. So something like that. So I will on isolate, and then we have that. See how good it looks. And the next thing will be for the logo. So first things first, I'm going to set this as my work plane. Press enter. So this is my work plane. So if I go to the top now, it's going to bring that plane to my view. So I already have a logo that I'm going to copy here. So I did this in the previous class. If you have not watched it, you can just go to the day 23 and watch that. So I'm going to copy this. I just go to copy to clipboard and go to my drawing, and then I'll paste. And let's just paste this right here, somewhere here. And I'm going to select this. I'll scale this down. And then move it on this surface like that. If we switch this to the shape, so this is what we have. See that it's on that surface. So what we just need to do is to press pull this in, and that will do that. So we can switch this back to world, and let's also switch from here to X-ray. Yeah, X-ray is fine. I feel it's not centered. I don't know. I feel it's not centered. Alright, well, I'll just work with this. Let's switch to this face, press enter so that the face will be the stuff we want. So just move this a little bit to the side. Okay, I feel this should be fine. So let's change this back to world, and we're actually done. So we just need to press pull this in, press pull, select this. If we have a value, we can press pull to a particular value so that we're sure that so it's going to, so I'm thinking I want to press pull this to like minus maybe 0. This is 0.8, so maybe 0.2. So let's go 0.2. Again, same problem, same old problem. So we'll put a negative value. So just click this, put them together, minus 0.2. And let's check. I feel it's still much. Okay, and we press pull the wrong thing, so undo. So press pull. I think 0.2 is also too much. So let's do minus 0.05. Oh, why? Yeah, so it's fine, it's fine. So I'm doing minus 0.05, so press pull again. Yeah, so that gives us that. And we can change this back to world, and this is it. This is how you can create your laptop. See, it was a whole lot to do. So I think, okay, so the only thing left is this base. So I can delete all of this. Ctrl Z. I can delete every other thing and just try to fillet that surface. Let's see if this will work. And let's set a radius. Let's see. So for some reason, I don't know why this is going messy. I don't know why. Somebody help. Why is this going messy like that? So, but then would have checking another thing. So let me say, I would have checked another solution to that, but I feel that okay, so let's see if I select an edge. So this will not work. It has to be a mesh for that to happen. So I think I'll just want to stop here because I don't want to rack my brain too much on this. Let's see if I use chamfer, maybe that will work. So chamfer distance, we just try to look for a particular distance. So let's try 0.2 and 0.2, and let's select this. It's still messy, you can see that. So that means I'm not going to do chamfer, I'm not going to do anything, I'll just leave it like that. So basically this is how you will make this, and you see how much of a work it took to create this mesh. So today is the second to the last day, so tomorrow is the final day of this exercise. So we'll see again tomorrow. We might not model tomorrow, we might look at something different. So if you feel this was helpful, please do give me a like and a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe because I do tutorials like this every day. Do have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow, and God bless you. Bye.